You want to say anything to anybody?
Hello.
You got to be very careful when you own Chinese stocks because you don't know what's inside their number because they don't have to follow the same regulations and standards. I mean, we have to worry about what's in the U.S. numbers with the way they cook their books. And so you're really taking a risk with China.
You mean
Alibaba, Neo,
you mean
Dawei, Tencent? I mean, I don't know.
they're not subjected to the SEC?
No, not at all.
I know, I'm kidding.
No, I mean, the ones who are, as you see, what's happening is the Chinese companies are like this year. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
And that's because the Chinese government supposedly is trying to, unlike our government who keeps going like this, the Chinese government is trying to take air out of that bubble before it blows up. That's supposedly what's going on.
Makes sense to
Which
me.
is what led to this Evergrande issue. They're not going to bail them out.
So that decision's been made. They're not bailing them out. That's been made, or it's.
I don't think it's been made. I think so far that's what's been made. I think
right.
Who knows? They may be trying to hurt certain because there's a lot of foreign people invested in that company.
Oh, 100%.
Maybe they're hoping it. As we talked about in the Art of War, the Chinese play Go while we play checkers. So they think how to surround their enemy and wait them out, whereas we tend to think,
charge.
Taka good.
Yeah, frontal assault all the time. Just head straight in. Well, sometimes that's effective, and certain situations call for that. But as you know, common sense would dictate not every situation calls for that.
There's one thing that you need to understand with the Asian mind, and of course, universal truths are not always true, but the Asian
Sound like
mind,
Douglas MacArthur, by the way.
well, no, the Asian mind compared to our mind, it's very patient, very patient,
methodical too.
Well,
maybe
let's stick to a few words. It's very patient, and not just patient, but their idea of self does not really exist. Right? They make decisions for the collective instead of themselves many times. Right?
Yeah.
So sacrifice is a different word over there.
I can see that. It's an antithesis of, or opposite of what we are. We're so individually focused, obviously. They're more probably collective, group, community, whatever, focused, societal. Yeah. Well,
they also can live with a lot more pain than we can.
Absolutely.
We would determine pain or hardship.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And to me, that translates to a different lifestyle and standard of living that they could get by on, that the average American would be like, oh my God, this is caveman times. I don't have my 64-inch flat screen on the wall with my Starbucks mocha latte cafe for $9 and my brand new $1,500 Apple in my hand. I'm being facetious, but
yeah, and you notice in China as well is when somebody gets to be like rock star status, like Jack Ma and some of these other people, out comes the hammer.
I was going to say they take the beat down. I noticed that the beat down comes.
And you notice bankers or businessmen or people who decide to look out for themselves at the expense of the country or the community, or they hurt people, they get taken out back and get a bullet in the head. Like these banksters, like these Federal Reserve guys, if they're in China, they'd have two options. Either they seek asylum somewhere or they're dead.
I was going to say they get the piss beat out of them big time. No joking. Yeah.
No, they'd get shot in the back of the head.
Yeah, it's worse than that. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And it sounds barbaric, but in many ways, and they have a mock trial, whatever. But I mean, if you're guilty, you're guilty, right? Well, I mean, if you rape and murder somebody, or you literally commit fraud and deception in a position of power, we've talked about this. If you take a position where fiduciary responsibility is one of the key tenets of your job, and you violate that to put a few shekels in your pocket, maybe the easiest thing to do is just be done with you.
Yeah, well, I agree, but I would just add that I do believe in due process and stuff like that.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, if those things are found to be true,
right? But the due process.
Sally needed a new bike.
Right. No, exactly. If the due process is handled, properly, correctly, truthfully, not manipulated, and then the facts, if you will, and the chips fall where they may, and hence, to your point, the violations are shown. Then there needs to be stricter, harsh penalties, right? So that it may detract other type incidents in the future, right? But because that doesn't happen clearly now, to your point, people know ahead of time. It's like, look, I might get a little slap on the hand, but I'm walking away with 22.5 mil.
Mil? That's it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A lot of people would risk getting that slap on their wrist for 22 million.
Live long and prosper.